Magnum packing patriots, can you dig it? You're watching the Tap Rack Bang Show. I'm Ryan Frasor, riding shotgun with me as always is the tactical tackle himself, Tyler Witzke. Tyler, how you doing, buddy?
A little fired up today.
Sames, man. I'm a little pissed off and I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
Of course, as always, we invite all of our viewers out there to be a pro-gun bully today. So if you want to tell Will Smith that Joe Biden was talking about his wife, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to smash the bejesus out of the Liberty Bell. And subscribe. But yeah, sound the alarm of freedom every time a Tap Rack Bang Show drops.
Yeah. I think you should slap that like button.
Slap that like button.
Slap it.
I like it.
Don't forget to visit all links down in the description. And don't forget to use code TRB10 to get 10% off your order at gunrightsgear.com when you order some cool NAGR swag.
Merch.
So...
Yep. Well, just letting you folks know, a little housekeeping update. We're officially moving t-shirt time to the end of the show now. So if you want to win your dope-ass t-shirt, you have to wait through me and Witzke talking and suffer through our nonsense for a little while if you want to win. So stay tuned for that. And we're going to dive right into the meat and potatoes now. No more dilly-dallying, lollygagging, no more loitering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what's news, Witzke?
ATF is cracking down on forced reset triggers, and they're calling them machine guns now.
Yeah, not just cracking down, but just completely rewriting their own ridiculous definition of a machine gun just to make it fit in there so they can just ban some more stuff without any congressional oversight.
Yeah, and before we get into the whole thing about it, can we talk a little bit about the background of why this is happening?
Yeah, let's have story time real quick.
Yeah, back in the Trump days, basically the Justice Department determined bump stocks to be machine guns, correct?
Yeah, essentially using the exact same logic, and it was, we're equal opportunity gun rights activists here, and we will not shy away when a Republican does us dirty. We'll call them out, and it was under Trump's directive to get rid of bump stocks without any real legislative process, and he called Jeff Sessions out of his little Keebler elf tree to come down and task the ATF and the Justice Department with inventing a new way of just banning parts. And the NRA was nowhere to be found in that fight. They kind of turned a blind eye to this whole thing. Of course, your National Association for Gun Rights sounded the alarm immediately. We saw the implications to what this was, and I'm sure you all did. Like, whether you think bump stocks are just kind of a gimmicky little toy, or you're not a fan of them, or you owned one and loved one, like, we knew that there was more than bump stocks at stake here, and we're seeing that now. Later on, it was under William Barr. It was pistol braces. That they're coming for soon, and
80% receivers,
80%
homemade firearms,
ghost guns, if you will.
And now forced reset triggers, which kind of. I mean, we had some notice of it, but it just kind of came out of nowhere. It's not like they allowed a comment period or anything like they did with the pistol braces and the 80% lowers.
Yeah, they thought, why get our emails blown up when we can just change our own definition and ominous dominus, you're a machine gun now.
Yeah. And
so you're more of like a gun tech guy than me. How does a forced reset trigger work?
So forced reset trigger, again, I don't know much about them either, but why the ATF thinks that forced reset triggers are machine guns. I got my notes here that
come prepared.
That Hannah, our foundation.
Did Hannah do your homework for you?
She did.
She's the best.
So I'm just going to read off a couple things here. Let's see why forced reset triggers are not machine guns. In a machine gun, we all know how that works. With a force reset trigger, just as a regular semi-automatic firearm, the trigger must reset after every shot. The main difference is that with a regular semi-automatic, the trigger resets when the shooter's finger releases the trigger. With a force reset trigger, the hammer forces the trigger to reset, moving the shooter's finger. It's a small, quick reset, but it is an individual function of the trigger per shot. So basically, it's moving your finger back forward, allowing you to pull again to fire another shot. So I don't understand where the machine gun comes in, because that is just one single motion to fire a machine gun.
And really, every trigger in the world pushes back a little bit. So where does this end? Like what now is the weight requirement that you're allowed to have a trigger reset? It kind of opens up a whole can of corn. But yeah, historically they said a machine gun fires more than one round with a single function of the trigger. Yeah. So a burst or a fully automatic firearm, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a machine gun. Now they changed in their own definition that they just get to write and update willy-nilly, apparently. It changes single function to single continuous pull. But even that doesn't work because you're pulling it again. Right. It's resetting it and it's another pull.
Yeah. And so this all happened... Well, all started back in July of 2021. The ATF issued rare breed triggers with a cease and desist letter, claiming that the ATF had examined their trigger in a highly questionable test and decided to classify as a machine gun, unilaterally ordered them to stop selling it. The ATF also ordered rare breed triggers to help the ATF reacquire all of the force reset triggers previously sold under threat of criminal prosecution and seizure of rare breed assets. And
reacquire is such a bullshit word. It's kind of like gun buyback. Like, how are you reacquiring something that you never owned?
Yeah.
You're confiscating it. You're friggin' sending out your jackbooted stormtroopers to steal parts, accessories that were legally purchased or legally manufactured. But then when you changed your mind on what a machine gun is, now countless Americans are criminals for owning an NFA item without a government permission slip and getting fingerprinted and paying all kinds of money.
Yep. And Rare Breed, rather than comply with the ATF, they decided to sue, arguing that the ATF never even notified them that the trigger was under investigation and never allowed them to participate and be heard, which is a due process violation.
Oh, shit.
And the ATF's examination was flimsy, faulty, and incomplete. And Rare Breed has expert testimony from 4 different witnesses, all of whom are former ATF agents.
Even the rank and file know that it's a scam.
Former ATF agents who agree that the force reset trigger does not meet the statutory definition of a machine gun.
AKA they know how to read.
Exactly. So there's more to the story, and I'll try to summarize it up, but back in January of 2022, January 12th, ATF contacted one of Rare Breed's vendors, basically demanding their inventory and a promise to explain later. Holy crap.
Yeah.
The vendor's lawyer replied with a letter saying, "Your letter is vague. Here's our evidence that the force reset triggers are not machine guns. You explain how these are machine guns and we'll comply." The next day, the ATF sent a letter to law enforcement offices stating that force reset triggers are machine guns. And it was around this time that the ATF raided Big Daddy Unlimited, who is big vendor, so to say, of firearms accessories and whatnot, and seized their entire inventory of force reset triggers. Fast forward to March 22nd. ATF followed up with an open letter to all FFLs reiterating their position that force reset triggers are machine guns and started threatening criminal penalties, seizures, and forfeitures for not complying. A few days later, March 26th, Rare Breed's vendor was raided at gunpoint by the ATF. Holy shit.
Yeah, where do these people get off?
The raid was deliberately over the top. Black vans, doors busted down when they could have simply been open. Initially refusing to show a warrant, employees held at gunpoint if they tried to call 911, etc.
I just hope they didn't have any dogs at Rare Breed's facility, right? It'd have been a freaking bloodbath.
Yep.
Yeah, dead.
The ATF seized everything, including computers, software, quality control devices used for measuring, and much more. So Rare Breed had actually planned to refile their lawsuit the day before, and they're actually filing it this week. I think Hannah just sent around an email that we're filing on Friday. So holy crap.
Yeah, it's disgusting. We have an FFL here. Did we get their open letter? I'd honestly like to read that.
I would too. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to track that down. And if we have a copy of that open letter, we'll read it. I'm sure we could find it online or find someone who can provide it. I'd be interested to see what kind of sickening threats they're sending to, ma and pop gun shops across America so they can have their sick little ways. But I mean, it's a phrase that gets thrown around a lot, almost as a joke, but I thought this was America. Like, is this the kind of stuff that's supposed to go down in America, where we dispatch the Gestapo to raid businesses, law-abiding citizens? Like,
yeah, you'd like to think that wouldn't happen, but holy shit, like,
yeah, what is this?
Just over a firearm accessory.
Yeah, a part that helps you shoot a little bit faster.
Yeah.
That's not been used in any crimes that they can point to. It's not a problem. It's not a nuisance that's plaguing our country. It's just they found an opportunity to enforce some more gun control without any congressional oversight. Like, they're law enforcement. They're not lawmakers.
Yeah.
Their job is to enforce the laws on the books, not create their own. But that's what they're trying to do. And here at the National Association for Gun Rights, we're calling on our lawmakers to do something about it. If you go into the description box, we'll have a link to an action page where you can contact your lawmakers through our One Click Politics campaign. We actually worked hand in hand with Rare Breed a few months ago when they saw what was taking place, and we set them up with this to start getting some pressure on the legislature to open their freaking eyes to this.
Yeah.
And realize that American citizens are being treated like shit.
Yep.
By freaking federal bureaucrats.
Exactly. And I mean, it's scary and it pisses me off, but what's even more scary is thinking about, are they going to go door to door and start confiscating these now that they have Rare Breed's info?
Yeah.
They have, they're talking to vendors that have sold these triggers. Are they going to use their addresses, go door to door and knock down the door and start demanding these triggers? If not, they'll shoot. Like, it's scary as hell.
Yeah, I'm sure Biden and Feinstein are just giggity over the friggin' idea that this is going down. I'm sure they're just on cloud nine knowing that they're American gun owners out there getting friggin' raided and treated like trash. And
notice how it's never the policymakers that are volunteering to go door to door either. Like, they're all relying on this army of local police even.
As they sit in their ivory tower, they're dispatching their, I keep saying Gestapo because that's legit what this feels like breaking down doors unnecessarily to a business where you could probably walk right in and talk to the receptionist. Like, is that really necessary?
No.
Did Rare Breed ever give any indication that they were going to meet him with resistance or anything? They were going through the legal process. They were responding to their letters. They were filing lawsuits. They were doing everything they were supposed to do, acting like law-abiding Americans. And this is what they get. Yeah,
and keep in mind, ATF didn't even have a warrant.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they didn't go in and just talk to him. But holy shit.
Rare Breed's lawsuit just sues the pants off of the freaking ATF, that they get millions of dollars, and people get freaking fired for this nonsense because it's infuriating.
When was the last time the ATF overreacted? Come on.
Yeah, really.
Every day. I mean,
Waco, Ruby Ridge.
I just want to remind everyone, this started with bump stocks. Everybody thought...
Yeah, everyone laughed at bump stocks. Who cares? It's a joke.
But
what's next after this? You give an inch, they take a mile. Exactly. It's death by 1,000 cuts to the Second Amendment. Like, these awesome guns that we're legally allowed to own right now, are they going to keep chipping away at them bit by bit until we have muskets or nothing?
Yeah.
And, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it started under the directive of a Republican president, a Republican Justice Department, and the mainstream gun lobby was freaking silent.
Didn't they endorse Jeff Sessions?
Yeah, Jeff Sessions, who was the chief guy in banning bump stocks the first go around, ran for Senate, and thank God he freaking lost. National Association for Gun Rights, PAC, endorsed his opponent, who thank God won. But yeah, NRA said, that banning bump stock stuff, that's no big deal. Let's endorse this guy. He needs more power.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, it's absolutely a big deal. Like, what single act of gun control in the past 20 years have had implications like this? Like it started with a gimmicky part, and it's turning into just bit by bit by bit. Like
it's an accessory ban.
If they tried to do this through the legislature, this shit would not fly.
No, it wouldn't. And they're doing this, trying to sneak it through, unilaterally through rewriting the law, allowing the ATF to rewrite the law.
Yeah,
which that's constitutionally
scary.
Can't.
Again, law enforcement, not lawmakers.
Yeah. So. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Is every semi-auto a machine gun? I don't want to give them freaking ideas.
Exactly.
But if you can write the law, you can do all kinds of whack shit.
Yeah. So it's scary stuff, and it truly pisses me off.
Yeah.
And our foundation is actually working with Rare Breed on filing this lawsuit. So if you want to help out the lawsuit, go check out our foundation. Links down in the description.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Like I said, like the best thing to come out of this is if their lawsuit just sails to victory and we just clean the ATF clocks. But outside of that, obviously I said contact your lawmakers. We also have a petition down below to abolish the ATF because that's what it's come to at this point.
Yeah.
Like what good can you legitimately think of? If you can think of something, comment below because I sure can't. What's a good thing that the ATF's done recently? Freaking nothing. Sending guns to cartels in Mexico, freaking killing innocent men, women, children, and dogs at Waco and Ruby Ridge.
Yeah.
Now this harassing American businesses.
It's sickening.
Who else could get away with this?
If you can tell us anything the ATF does that can't be done better by local or state police at all, like anything they do.
They do nothing.
Yeah. But
yeah. Yeah, it's infuriating, and we absolutely endorse. There's a bill in Congress right now to abolish the ATF, and we're on board with it. Obviously, the political climate right now, that bill doesn't stand a chance, but you never know what's going to happen after the next election cycle. And if we could start building momentum for this, maybe we can actually create some real change here.
Exactly.
Because these friggin' lunatics are acting like the mafia.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like, they shake people down for their protection money. You don't dot your I's and cross your T's. You get thrown in jail. You get slapped with fines. They send their goons after you. I feel like I'm watching Goodfellas here.
Yeah, the ATF is the modern day organized mafia.
Yeah, it really is.
So.
Yeah. Except they're backed by the government.
Yep.
With unlimited resources. Yeah, so as you can see, Tyler and I are freaking pissed off this week, as I'm sure you all are too. But, I mean, there's good news on the horizon as well. I noticed today Georgia passed constitutional carry out of the House. So I think there's a conference committee and then on to the governor. There are some weak amendments, but it's still a constitutional carry bill. So that's something if you're in Georgia, congrats. I think there's a conference committee, still a constitutional carry bill. All right, folks, we're interrupting this broadcast with an update out of Georgia. A huge victory. Senate Bill 319 passed out of the Senate today, 34-22, and is headed to the desk of Governor Brian Kemp. Me and Christian and the Tap Rack Bang Boys actually spoke to Governor Kemp at SHOT Show earlier this year where he said that he will sign the bill. He's already tweeting that he intends to sign the bill, so good news. Georgia's finna be the 25th constitutional carry state. Go Georgia. We're anxiously waiting to see if Governor DeSantis in Florida calls a special session for constitutional carry. That would be such a tremendous win. So yeah, they're going to keep chipping away at our gun rights this way. Well, we're going to keep snatching it back up state by freaking state.
You bet.
And we're doing it. Like I'd say we're days or maybe at the most weeks away from at least half of the states in the union being constitutional carry states. And that's a big freaking deal.
Yeah. Huge.
So I just wanted to try and bring the mood up a little bit since this was a blow your stack episode.
Yeah, appreciate that.
For those of you who stuck it out and listened to Witzke and Witzke and my rant, you are rewarded with a little t-shirt time right now.
Yeah. It's t-shirt time.
So, as always, if you want to win a dope-ass Hell No Joe NAGR t-shirt just like this one, I think right now Hell No Joe t-shirt is needed, and you should all be, if you aren't winning them, buying them on gunrightsgear.com with that code TRB10 for 10% off. But if you want one for free right now, you could answer our question. Last week our question was, what was John Wick's main pistol in the very first John Wick movie, not the subsequent ones he switches to Glocks, but in the very first movie, he mainly was packing a HK P30L, and Tim Goodwin Good win, Tim. Was the first one to answer in the YouTube comments, so he won himself a dope-ass NAGR Hell No Joe t-shirt. If you want to win this week, I'd like to know, and this is kind of a technical question. It's something that we just figured out today. We were looking at some guns online. Tell me the operating system of the HK P9 or P9S pistol. It's kind of an abnormal operating system. I'll give you a hint. It's not like a regular recoil operated pistol. It's a pretty interesting system that it came up with. So if you know the operating system of a P9 or a P9S, be the first in the YouTube comments to answer that question correctly. And also make sure you're commenting below. Last week, a lot of people were commenting in the little live sidebar comments section during the live stream. Those comments kind of disappear. So only the ones in the official comment section below the video count. So do that there. Comment, win a shirt, do it. Let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah. So again, like I said in the beginning, don't forget to visit all links down below in the description and use code TRB10 to get 10% off your order at gunrightsgear.com. And don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and smash the hell out of that subscribe button.
Yeah, Liberty Bell. Subscribe
Liberty
button.
Bell, yeah. My mind went blank. Sorry. So
it's all good. It happens to the best of us. Yeah.
So.
And comment below, #FYATF.
Do it.
Okay, bye. Yeah.
So.
And comment below, #.